This is Badass Billy Gunn, 11-time WWE Tag Team Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Hardcore Champion, and you're listening to IcoPod. You gotta hear this. And if you're not listening to this, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
And we're back with what?
Yeah, it's episode 40. These people know what you're gonna say.
What do you mean they know what I'm gonna say?
They know what you're gonna say. So, blah, 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 blah.
Well, I'm Boy Bob, as you can tell from last week's episode. And with me, as always, is Soul Train Skinner.
Ooh,
yeah,
yes.
did it.
Yes.
And this is, in fact, episode 40 of IcoPod. In dog years, we've been dead about 8 times over, but we're not. We're still pushing on.
Instead, you're probably dead listening to us for 40 episodes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So here we are.
Probably caused a lot of people's ears to bleed. So
yeah.
That's quite all right. Here we are, another week. Last week we talked about Shawn Michaels being stripped of the championship, and now we're on the week where it kind of all gets resolved. Well, partially resolved, I guess.
Yes. I'm looking forward to this episode, man. They've built up the a little bit confusingly, but they've built up this battle royal to be a pretty big deal, pretty important. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There is some big names, no doubt about it. Some potentially huge matchups to have happen.
Right, IRS Bastion Booger, like who
sign me?
Who doesn't want to see
Jimmy Snuka against MVP?
Right.
Everybody knows that, people from the island can't hit a baseball. So
there you go. There you go.
Gonna be intense.
We might even get like a fucking Carlos Colon appearance.
Ooh. Maybe another Paul Vandal appearance where he doesn't know how to run the ropes. I mean, if he doesn't know how to run the ropes, he can't possibly be thrown over them.
Exactly. Crush might be coming in with octopus in hand.
Sure. Don't think the clown might come out and just prank everybody, even though he's not in the battle royal? He might just still do it.
Right. The belt that they have on the line is actually like one of those chocolate ones where you open up the wrapper and it's just a chocolate championship.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that be hilarious if Bastion Booger took it and then tried to eat it?
Yeah, and it's like a trick by Doink.
The head shrinkers should be over there. Fatu and them be like, what? This is not chicken.
Right. And then they spit it out because it's actually food and they don't like eating actual food.
Right.
I'm telling you.
They just bite each other's foreheads.
Right. Mustard.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was like a non-traditional opener, so maybe we'll just do that from now on. We'll just say, hey, fuckface, we're here to talk. Right? Good. All right, so let's continue on with this just off-the-rails show, and it will be moving forward. I try to be professional for once in my life. And
you just dropped a double FF on me, and you can't just graze over that.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's go into what's going on in the world of the WWF. Yokozuna has been working with the Undertaker on house shows and has been getting pinfall victories over him after using a salt bucket. This is setting up non-title casket matches for November, which we noted last week. Whatever. Okay.
Fuck the Undertaker.
These guys have been drawing big numbers on house shows when they were doing it earlier this year. So
yeah, from you. You're the one replaying the shit all the time.
Well, it's fine.
Okay. As long as we agree.
You need to just follow the WWF blindly and appreciate everything they do. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Fuck face.
Listen, that's not a big deal that I said fuck face. It's not a big deal. Okay?
I enjoyed it thoroughly, as you can tell.
I can tell. You're giggling about it like a little schoolgirl.
Oh, boy.
Jeff Jarrett is, in fact, heading into the WWF, so he will be arriving by the end of the year.
Yes, the chosen one.
That's double J, baby. J-E-double-F, J-A-R-R-E-double-T. Jeff Jarrett. That's right. Adam Bomb has been getting babyface reactions in tag matches where he teams with Bam Bam Bigelow, taking on the Quebecers.
Fuck yeah to Adam Bomb.
Hey, man, we've been throwing money at him since the time he came out.
I would have bought the little goggles at the gimmick stand.
I mean, I guess you could do it for like swimming.
No, it's like they got like, the foam fingers, John Cena necklace.
But you could have used them for swimming.
Or welding, if you fucking weld.
No. I mean, they are pretty big goggles. But maybe not for swimming. Scuba diving.
I don't know. They look a little dark for scuba diving.
You could use them if there happens to be a nuclear explosion in your town.
Exactly. That's a very practical use.
You could be like, Mom, Dad, aren't you glad you bought me the Atom Bomb goggles? And they'll be
only
like
$30.
Yeah, they were only $34.95 with $23 shipping.
At the arena.
Yeah. What do you mean there's a shipping and handling charge? Well, I have to pick it up and then hand it to you. So that's an extra labor.
I'm handling it and I'm shipping it into your hands.
Exactly. That requires a $14.95 additional fee. Yes.
For the low 2 installment payments of $24.99.
I love
yours.
I love those commercials. My dad would get so fired up when people would be like, "Oh, yeah, you can get these this table. It's free. You just pay shipping." And he's just like, "Then it's not fucking free. I'm paying for it." And
or they'll throw in the second set as long as you're willing to pay for the extra shipping and handling fees.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
You want one recliner? That's fine. We'll give you the other one, but you just have to pay a separate shipping and handling fee of $29.95. It's like, well, what the fuck are we talking about? Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he always gets fired up about that stuff.
It's a gimmick.
Every time.
It's a gimmick.
Shipping is a gimmick.
Yeah, I'd say.
You know how many times I've bought stuff off eBay and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, the shipping's like $8." And you look at the little tag that tells you how much it costs to ship, and it's like $2.
You know what I want to know? If I buy a shirt, right? Why are you charging me $20 to ship a goddamn shirt? Shove it in an envelope and send it to me.
Yeah, I don't understand.
What cost you $20?
Yeah, I sent you a picture of the Papa Shango shirt, right? That I bought.
Mm-hmm.
I literally got that on eBay for, I think, $6.99.
Shipped?
The whole thing was $6.99.
That's what I'm talking about. That should be, that's how it should be for everything.
And it's just a Papa Shango's face painted on it or whatever.
Is it even your size?
Yeah, I got it in 2X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just a funny shirt. Like, it's just his eyes is open. He's like,
and it's a niche thing. Like, not many people know who the fuck Papa Shango is.
Oh, no, yeah, I could wear that out and people would be like, "Oh, nice skeleton." Papa Shango.
Yeah,
who the fuck is Papa Shango? I think don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty bad. We got one house show to talk about. It took place on October 1st, 1993. San Jose, California, drew 7,500 fans. This is a debut at the venue, and the venue is simply called Arena. So I don't know if they ran out of ideas for a name, but they just said
real
Arena.
Specific. And you also mispronounced the name, Bob.
San Jose.
It's San Jose. Poughkeepsie, New York. San Jose, California.
San Jose, California. Whatever. October, New York. That's right. Gotta love it. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, the show features the following matches, fuckface. Man on a Mission taking on Well Done.
Get the fuck out of here.
IRS and 1-2-3 Kid. Razor Ramon taking on Rick Martel. Lex Luger. He's recovered from his back injury.
Holy shit.
He took on Ludwig Borga. Mr. Perfect taking on Diesel. WWF Tag Team Champions Quebecers defending against Adam Bomb and Bam Bam Bigelow. And the main event is Yokozuna defending the WWF World title against The Undertaker.
So Adam Bomb and Bam Bam, are they being positioned as faces in that case or what? Taking on the Quebecers? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, it says that the challengers played the baby faces in the match. So yes.
Wait, but then Johnny Polo manages fucking Adam Bomb.
No.
What?
I don't think he did.
Well, how could he?
Well, he's associated with the Quebecers.
But he comes out with Adam Bomb.
Is he still with Adam Bomb too?
Yeah.
Well, here, let me read the description of because there's stuff that stuff came out here. So
okay.
Johnny Polo came out and argued with Luna Vachon on the floor, which prompted Bigelow to argue with Polo, which then led to a fight with Bomb. So yeah, Polo, I guess, is with Bomb, or there's some kind of something going on there.
But they had a disagreement, so he was like, "Fuck you, I'm going to manage the Quebecers in this match."
Well, I don't know, because it just says it prompted a argument between Bigelow and Polo, which led to a fight with Bomb. The challengers played the face. After the bout, Bigelow and Bomb made up, with Bigelow then throwing Polo to the floor.
Oh.
So Polo maintained a heel status there, it looks like.
And it sounds like he and Bomb might not be on the same page for much longer.
They might be on the outs.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, and that partnership never really made much sense to me anyways. So.
Right. It's pretty much same. Otherwise, same for house show this week, I feel like.
Well, they have the Luger Borga stuff.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, so I assume now that Lex is back, he's got a titanium spine.
Oh, I would imagine, yeah.
That he can't use in the matches. Like, they have to tape it up.
Right.
Because it'll be a weapon otherwise.
They should just make him so that he can't possibly feel any pain ever.
They should just make him the Terminator.
Yeah.
The Lexinator.
There you go.
He can come out in a black leather jacket and black sunglasses on a motorcycle.
Great. Genius.
It's little Lex riding out on a bike. I don't know.
But it's funny you did that reference because on YouTube earlier today, I was looking up. I think I typed in like Lex Luger or something, and the first thing that comes up is that promo.
That's awesome. I gotta go and watch that. I gotta
watch
that.
The funny thing is, the guy who interviews him, like, he just dies of laughter.
Oh yeah.
Who makes these shirts? I can't take these off.
Well, and then he's trying to get out of the doors, and all the doors are locked. He can't like leave the interview.
Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious. I haven't seen it in a while.
It's only like a minute and 11 seconds, but it's like the greatest a minute and 11 seconds ever.
And it's like lesbian haircut Lex Luger, so you know it's good.
Yeah, not to get confused with lesbian haircut AJ Styles, who is actually still good.
Right.
This is lesbian haircut Lex Luger when he's not good.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of not so good, there's no syndication notes this week.
Been quiet.
Yeah, for syndication, at least for the most part. As for the house show, I would probably still go to that.
I don't know. I don't think I would.
Well, nobody asked you, fuckface. Everybody asked me. This week,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Speaking of fuckfaces, here's Mike Campbell. He's got something to talk about. I'm just kidding, Mike. I'm just kidding.
Holy shit.
Mike's like, I'm kidding. It could have been anybody. It could have been Michael Vincent, but here's Michael Vincent. This fuckface has got that. I'm just kidding, Mike. Mike's a good guy. He's always got stuff to talk about, so he adds to the conversation. It's called a joke. It's called satire. Okay, guys. Fuck. Don't be a fuckface for real. Okay. So Mike's got a comment here in regards to the episode we're about to talk about. He says, when a friend of mine told me on the school bus about the Battle Royal for the IC title, my first reaction was to ask if Razor Ramon was in it. When he told me that he was in it, I decided that he was my pick. Kind of like me, like Eli Tomac. I was like, oh, that guy sounds like a racer, so I'm going to pick him.
Yeah, because I told you he was my favorite guy.
No, you did not.
What? Yeah.
No, you did not. You were like, oh, I really like this guy, but like Tomac's okay. He just gets hurt a lot.
Well, he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah. And then I was just like, that's how I picked him. If anybody knows what time, what do they call it? Motocross? Yeah,
it's AMA, so it's Supercross right now. That's what we watch anyway, but motocross is like the outdoor. But yes, he's a rider, one of the world's best right now, actually.
Yeah, and the thing is I don't mean to pull away from Campbell's comments here, but growing up, I used to watch all the time on ESPN. Like Ricky Carmichael would never fucking lose.
Yeah.
And my guy back then was McGrath.
Yeah.
Because I was like, come on, man,
Me
this
too.
guy can win. So then I stopped watching. I hadn't watched it probably in 15 years or so.
Right.
And then you mentioned it. You're like, oh, you should like check it out on Fox Sports 1 or whatever. So I was like, yeah, sure. And I tune in and I'm like, I don't know any of these guys. Carmichael's like so old. He's just a guy talking about it now. He doesn't even do it.
Right.
And I was like, so how do I base off like who I like? Like, how can I get an attachment here? So my mind was just like, I'll just pick a name that sounds like they should be doing this for a living.
Right.
And then one of the guys is like, here's Eli Tomac. And I'm like, well, that sounds like a racer. And then that's been my guy. So
All right, man. That sounds good.
it is. There's a one guy, Austin Faulkner. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Faulkner.
That's a douchebag.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one. So
well, and going back to Carmichael, they kind of compare him to like the Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Of
Supercross. He never lost.
So that makes sense that you were watching during that time.
Yeah. I mean, that guy would sometimes lap the guy that was in second place. It's like, what is going on? Like, the guy is literally a minute and 20 seconds behind him. He just lapped him. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Just brutal. Anyway, Mike Campbell's probably pissed that we just
hijacked him.
Yeah, we just got away from this thing there. The guys agreed, and all four of us were taking Razor to be at least one of the winners, but hopefully also the title. We were 10 years old at this time. None of us had the internet. We had never heard of Dave Meltzer. We liked some of the other guys who were involved, like 1-2-3 Kid. And this was before Marty Jannetty had solidified himself as being a loser of the Rockers. Now, that's just rude.
I take exception to that, buddy.
Yeah.
Because who's suspended right now, motherfucker?
Exactly. Thank you very much. But he says that I just had a feeling that Razor was the guy. So that's interesting to see that, a bunch of 10-year-olds
could call it
school bus know English pretty well and can have their own thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, we can go with that.
Well, I mean, when I was 10 years old, I'm not sitting there going, Jim Duggan's my guy. Okay. I wasn't really doing that. I wasn't like, hey, Owen Hart, he's going to be a star in 94 or whatever, or I guess,
oh, look, a clown, funny.
Yeah, for real. That's pretty much what it was. But in context though, so like in 99, because that's when I would be 10. So I wouldn't be sitting there going like, oh wow, now I know why they call Billy Gunn Mr. Ass. He's got a nice ass. Like that wasn't in my mind frame. That wasn't how it was working.
Instead, you were like, oh, butt cheeks, funny.
Butt cheeks, yeah. He wears dental floss on his butt. It's crazy.
Oh,
yeah. And then I would have to ask my mom, like, Mom, what is poontang pie? Can we have that? And then she would be like, you're grounded. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I'm gonna be able to watch Raw for a couple weeks, but.
And then your dad's like, Bob, I'll tell you when your mother goes to sleep.
Yeah. He'd be like, son, I have a couple of videos you can watch.
I also think it's funny that every time it's on the bus, it's always on the bus. Like that's wrestling. That's wrestling 45 minutes on the bus with Mike.
Well, I mean, of course I'm just making fun of this. I'm just joking around, but there was a time it was like 98. I don't know why I remember this, but there was a kid on the bus that he had recorded, what was it called? I think it was Rock Bottom. So it was like the end of 98,
okay.
that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I really want to watch that. Because I think there was like a Buried Alive match or something. Mankind Rock had like a match or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'll you have it recorded? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, dude, I'll totally, can I borrow it or whatever? And it took forever for him to remember to bring the fucking tape onto the bus. Okay, like weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Like every day I'd be like, Joe, because his name was Joe. I was like, Joe, can you just bring it to the bus? Like tomorrow. But yeah, man, sure. Every day he'd get on the bus and be like, oh, I forgot.
Holy shit.
You hadn't recorded. Anyway, eventually I would get it and it sucked. It was, I mean, even as a 9-year-old, I was like, this blows. It was just not good.
And then you're like, "Hey Joe, here's your tape back, fuckface."
Literally, like the next day. Like it took him weeks to give it back to me. I watched it the day he gave it to me. And then the next day on the bus is like, "Here you go." He's like, "You're done already?" I was like, "Yeah, that was awful." That was 3 hours of just pure garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I have a wrestling memory on the bus. It's not a happy one. I learned on the bus in the morning going to school that Eddie Guerrero passed away in 04.
He died in 2005.
No, whatever. 05. Yeah. That's the only wrestling memory I have on a bus, though.
One of my, you know, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated almanacs or whatever.
Yeah.
So I used to like those were my prized possessions as a kid because like I would know all the information. If people are like, "Dude, how tall is freaking Steve Austin?" I'd be like 6'4", whatever. You know, they'd be, "Oh my god!"
I thought he was 6'2".
I don't fucking know, man. I'm just saying shit. God, such a fuckface. So we're probably gonna get banned from iTunes at this point in time. But anyway, so I had it on the bus, and I must have forgot it on the seat. So I get off the bus, and the driver crosses me over, and this douchebag kid, his name was like Nick something. He like holds it up against the window, and he has a face of like, "I got your book," and I was like, "No." No, I can't believe this.
Oh shit! Did you ever get it back?
Yeah, I got it back. Well, back then I was like super overweight and like bigger than everybody else, so he was kind of like, "Don't beat me up over it, dude." I was like, "Just give it back to me."
You're like, "Give me my fucking wrestling book."
Yeah, I need that. One time, I convinced people on the bus that Stone Cold Steve Austin was my dad. He was on the cover of a magazine. I think it was like 2002.
You got to be shitting me right now.
I swear to God. Because what I did was I was just like, well, at first they were like, "No fucking way." They're like, "Bob, we're not that dumb." And I was like, "Guys, have you ever seen my dad?" And they were like, "Well, no." And I was like, "Exactly. He's always traveling because he's on the road." And he's just like, so like a couple of them were like, "No fucking way." And I go, "Look at his eyes." And they're looking, right? And I go, "They're blue, aren't they?" Right? And they look at mine. I'm like, "Mine are blue." And they're like, "Oh my God." Right? So it's just a matter of like convincing people just like, "Oh, hey, yeah, this looks kind of like." So I have like 3 or 4 of them going. And then like my buddy John's just like, he like spoiled it. He's like, "That's not Bob's dad, guys." He's just lying. He's just messing around. And I was like, "You asshole. I could have had all these people thinking that Stone Cold Steve Austin was my dad."
Now answer this.
Yeah.
Did they see the junior at the end of your name?
No.
Holy shit. That is some shit you would do.
I did. I was just like, "Stone Cold Steve Austin's my dad." And they would look at the pictures and they're like,
the eyes? They're blue.
The eyes.
They're blue. Yeah, so are mine. People are like, "Holy fucking shit."
They really were. They're like, "Holy fucking, I think he really is, man. I can't believe this." You ever miss him? It's just like, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Did you have the shorter hair at that time or no?
No, I would grow it out.
I was gonna say, because you see his hair? Look at my hair.
Yeah, we're both bald.
People be like, "Holy fuck, dude."
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
No.
I could have definitely got him too. "Do you ever see my dad?" "Well, no." Like, yeah.
There you go.
He's always traveling.
Yeah, they're blue, right? His eyes, they're blue. Yeah.
You see my jaw? See his jaw? Just saying.
See this part of my cheek right here? Yeah. Look on the magazine. Look on the cover. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the story of back when AIM was big? I would go into these like group like that. It was like a group, but it was like a chat thing.
It was like group chat thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could just like look up a category and like people I would hit people up and be like, "Yeah, man, I work at WWF headquarters," and they'd be like, "Bullshit." I'm like, "Yeah, man, all right, let me go get Big Show for you." I would wait like 10, 15 minutes, and I'd be like, "What's up?" And they'd be like, "Is this the Big Show?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, what's going on?"
Oh my god!
And they'd be like, "So you think you're gonna beat The Rock tonight?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna choke slam him right through that mat." And they're like, "Oh no, don't do that, man. I like The Rock." I was like, "Well, I don't."
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That reminds me when I was Randy Savage on Facebook.
Tell that, yeah. Before we get into the Raw episode here, tell that gem of a story.
All right, if I have to.
Yeah, do it.
Well, let's rewind here. Now, at the time, Facebook was kind of still in its infancy. So, not many wrestlers, or it wasn't nearly the platform it is now. We're talking probably, I'd say 2009 maybe, when I did it. So, obviously, nobody had heard from Savage for a while by 2009, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I decide to make a profile of Randy Savage. And I put his name in as Randy Poffo, you know, and then in parentheses, Randy Savage. And it was back at the time when Facebook had the 4 separate photos made your main photos on your profile.
Uh-huh.
So I whipped up some BS graphics and I made it almost looked like a banner you would see on Facebook today, but back then it wasn't like that. You couldn't do that. So it looked legit. Like it looked really, really good compared to, you know, other profiles. So I start at a fucking million friends. Friends are coming in like crazy. And I'm posting little updates here and there or whatever. And I'd get Facebook messages of fans thinking they're talking to Randy Savage. So all of a sudden one day, and this was after, you know, probably a couple months of running it at that point.
What year did you start it?
Probably 2009. I wasn't very active though. Like I'd go on and then I'd go off. Yeah, maybe it was 2010, maybe 2010. So it was pretty. Put it this way: on the outside, it probably seemed believable because I wasn't on it every day. I'd log on, see all the messages, maybe post a status, and log off, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because pretending to be somebody is only so much fun, you know. So one day I went on, and I'm going through the messages, and I find this one, and I wish I would have just had the wherewithal to either save it or take a picture of it on a phone, just some way to keep it, you know, but of course I didn't. So I go on, and it's an agent. It's a backstage agent with TNA messaging my Randy Savage profile. And he's talking about, you know, love to have you come in. We're going to be doing shows down in the Florida area or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, what is your booking fee? Like, how can we get you to come in? We want you to come back in. And I got fucking scared. Because, like, what do I say to this fucking guy?
Yeah.
And this was back before you log on to Facebook now, there's fucking profiles of Pikachu. Like, it was not like that. Right. You know? So here I am. I'm fucking Randy Poffo on Facebook. And I think I just BS'd with the guy a little bit back and forth. Didn't really kind of get too much more information kind of thing. I don't remember him offering a number or anything like that. So that was probably one of the most interesting messages I ever got was the TNA agent guy. And then by 2011, when Savage passed away, I never logged on again. And it just happened to be that because I kind of fell out of it. I was like, whatever.
No, what you should have done is as soon as it was announced that he was dead, like that night, be like, I ain't never dead. And then people were like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. It made the dirt sheets, dude.
For sure.
Holy shit.
Wade Keller and Dave Mouse were like, oh my God, Randy Savage is alive. What do we do?
But it was pretty legit nonetheless. I did get messages from Randy's family. It wasn't anybody like I reckon, like not his mom or his brother or anybody, but that were like take this down. It's fake or whatever. And I would delete it. I'd like get it. I'd block them. I would delete it off my wall so people didn't see it. But yeah, by 2011, when he passed away, I never logged back on. So people were like, holy fuck, man. He just never posted again. That was it. And I think I tried to go back and like find it. They've taken it down. Like it's not there.
Sure. Yeah, of course they did.
You know, so that was my Randy Poffo Facebook, man. It had some people fucking fooled. That's for sure.
I just think it's hilarious that a TNA official was like, "What's your booking fee, man?" Because I'm telling you right now, if it was me, I would have been like, "It's $100,000. You need to PayPal it to me right now to my email, bobconley@gmail.com. No questions asked." And then they'd be like, "Why is your email bobconley@gmail?" Oh, that's my agent.
Yeah, Bob Conley, my agent.
Yeah. And they're like, "Okay, well, and have them like announce it like on TV. Randy Savage will be then like never show up."
We've contacted him through his most updated social
fraud.
media profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't even think it got to that point though. I think he was BSing about, for some reason, I want to say he was talking about like new rigging for light, like they were getting more like newer shit or something. Dude, I don't even know. Like it didn't even get to the booking point, but he was like, "Oh, I'm TNA. We'd love to have you back," kind of thing.
Yeah, if you were probably like, "How do you feel about putting Nigel McGuinness over?"
Oh, God.
Would you take the Tower of London? No? Okay.
Yeah. So
you want to tap out to the ankle lock, Kurt Angle? No. Okay. Holy smokes, man. What was that?
Now that I've blown your eardrums out.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my Facebook tenure as a fake profile, basically.
That's the TNA official right now calling you.
Yeah, he just got back in touch with me right now.
Yeah. So what's that booking fee?
So I gotta go. That's it.
Are you gonna be able to make Bound for Glory tonight?
I'll just pick up the phone. Yeah, this is Randy Savage. How are you?
Yeah.
It was like I said, I wish I would have had the wherewithal to like screenshot some of it, because even fans, dude, like I'd message a fan back just something simple and they'd be like, "Oh my God," like they would freak out.
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny. It was like catfishing before catfishing, and I wasn't trying to date anybody or steal money.
Yeah, but it's so funny how you're so casual about it. But there's a guy named Tim in like Chicago who's like, "Randy Savage responded to me on Facebook."
Well, yeah, but like that's kind of a nice thing. Like I made somebody's dream come true.
See, you're the type of guy that is gonna end up on Dateline and be like, "Yeah, I did all these things, but like at least I made them happy." And then they'll be like, "Yeah, but you damaged the lives of millions of people, and you're this big." But I made one person happy.
I don't know if that's quite comparable, but okay. Holy shit, dude!
What is it? The TNA guy?
Wait a second. Is this the one I made?
No.
Hold on. I'm looking shit up. No, that can't be it. I don't know. That would be so fucking funny if I found it. I'm pretty sure they've taken it down since.
Because what did you do it as? You put just his name?
No, I did Randy Poffo, and then it was in kind of, brackets Randy Savage. And the first one that pops up, it's exactly like that. But
did you have his job as like heavyweight champion at WWE?
No.
Okay, because that's somebody else. That's what somebody did.
No, yeah, I didn't have it like that. I don't know. That'd be crazy if it was on here still, but I'm pretty sure last time I tried to like look for it or even log in, like it wasn't there.
Well, this is amazing just how many people have attempted to do a fake Randy Savage profile.
Oh, dude, yeah, there's a fucking million now.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
Shit, I wish it was still up there. Because I did. It literally I had thousands of friends. Fucking sweet cover photo, like all set up. I don't know. It was funny. It was funny.
Randy Macho Man Savage. Gone but never forgotten.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, back to our regular programming after that. I don't know what the hell just happened.
We're dragging it out here, folks.
Yeah, I don't know what. There you go. Just a deep dive into our, sociopath mindset. So here we go. Let's get into the show here. October 4th, 1993, WWF RAW. We are taped from New Haven, Connecticut. We start off with our Raw opening video as I get a notification that I'm losing at fantasy football. Fuck my life. All right. So we got a Raw opening video. We go right into the arena. It's Vince McMahon and Bobby Heenan. Randy Savage is not there because he's kind of involved in something. They promote the show and Battle Royal as several wrestlers are making their way into the ring. Heenan says that the lucky man is the man that wins the Battle Royal. Thanks, Bobby. We go to the commercial. We go to commercial before everyone gets in the ring. I think when they come back, like Tatanka and Savage, all that nonsense. So here we are, the opening match.
That's a great theme. That is. That's a great theme.
I'm just gonna do that for the next 3.5 minutes. So the first match, 20-man battle royal to determine who will fight for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. That's right. Remember, the final 2 people will fight next week to determine a new champion. I will just let you guys know right now that I have some notes and then eliminations. I did not do a big play-by-play because, for God's sakes, do you really want me to say Adam Bomb almost eliminated Bash and Booger 15 times, or Mr. Perfect was punching fucking Giant Gonzalez? No, I'm not going to do that.
Let me just say, though, kind of as a blanket statement here, so kind of wrapping it all into one, there was a ton of stalling in this one. Like, guys standing in the corner, like they were literally standing in the corner.
Yeah.
Like heels and faces standing right next to each other, watching the action. Like, oh, where's my cue?
Yeah, when's my turn?
I don't want to take away from the action.
Exactly.
It's not like I'm a wrestler.
Well, that's what happens with battle royals. It's bound to happen. Yeah. So Savage is the last guy to get introduced to the match, and he starts the match by coming off the top rope and delivering a couple of axe handles to Gonzalez, and that's when everybody just goes right at it.
Bobby says, "Oh, my pick's Booger. I'm picking Booger on this one."
Picking Booger, get it?
Haven't heard that one yet, Bobby. Go.
Hey. So funny. About within 2 minutes or so, Giant Gonzalez is eliminated by almost everyone.
Yeah, Savage kind of recruits everyone to help him get him out, basically.
So Gonzalez is just tossed out. Pretty sure this is going to be one of the final appearances for Gonzalez. I thought SummerSlam would be it, but apparently he needs to be in a virtually meaningless battle royal for himself.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Not to mention, we have, of course, your favorite guy in the ring for this one, most valuable player.
Yeah. I
also didn't know that MVP wrestled all the way back in 1993.
I know, and he was white.
Yeah, like how crazy is that?
Tick tock. I'm coming.
I'm coming.
Yeah. By the way, like that era of SmackDown with him is the most annoying ever. I'm the U.S. champion for the last 340 days.
And he comes out in the blow-up tunnel?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. If we ever make it to that point, I might just...
We're going.
I might just give up. Yeah. So Ramon nearly tosses out Jacques, but Pierre is able to help out his partner. Ramon almost backdrops IRS, but IRS stops him with an eye rake. Diesel is able to dump Mabel out of it. So Mabel is the second elimination, and who would have guessed it?
Diesel.
But this right here would be a main event on pay-per-view in 2 years.
I can't believe it was Diesel to dump out Mabel.
That to me should be a sign here.
Yeah.
That, hey, Diesel might get some shine going forward. Even if it's for, like 3 minutes. It could happen.
Well, yeah, no, I was definitely surprised to see that one.
Because usually, like with Gonzalez, it's usually like 9 people,
right?
But Diesel's like, no, fuck you guys, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out the heaviest guy in the match.
Yeah, I don't need any help.
Right.
Perfect and Savage go at it in the corner, but Savage is able to hang on. He's not eliminated. Ramon tosses IRS over the tops of the floor. So shockingly, IRS is the third elimination.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one either.
Yeah, I thought maybe he'd be like in the final four or something.
Right.
Ramon proceeds to taunt IRS and is then nearly eliminated by Jacques, who almost eliminates himself as well, but they both are able to hang on. Booger sends Kid over the tops of the floor. So Kid is the fourth elimination.
I thought he'd be in there a little bit longer too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the ordering is already kind of throwing me for a loop.
Yeah, for sure.
Mr. Perfect is able to backdrop Diesel over the tops of the floor. So Diesel eliminates Mabel, and then about 2 or 3 minutes later is just dumped right out.
Right.
And then he points at Perfect saying, "It's not over." So
Okay.
who fucking cares? Anyway, we go to commercial from there. We come back. Bob Backlund is like immediately backdropped to the floor by Rick Martel. Jimmy Snuka gets eliminated by Martel.
I couldn't believe Snuka was in it as long as he was.
I can't believe he didn't croak. I thought for sure he would just pass out or die
or kill somebody.
Well, he already did that.
Right.
And he got away with it. Talk about the perfect heel. I mean, he did something pretty dastardly and he got away with it.
Speaking of getting away with something, Bam Bam threw Perfect out, which I was kind of surprised to see.
Yeah, Perfect is the 8th elimination.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Bam Bam to be the guy to throw Perfect out for sure.
Yeah, that was surprising to me as well. They haven't had like any kind of interaction or feud, so I think they usually try to keep it like making sense. Like all these people.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Although on the same hand, I wasn't trying to talk too loudly because I was just glad that Bomb and Marty were still in the match. Like, oh fuck, don't let anybody find out that they're still in there because they're screwed.
Right. Well, speaking of screwed, because Marty Jannetty gets eliminated by Adam Bomb.
Damn it.
He's the 9th elimination. Owen Hart tries to toss Martel out of the ring while Tatanka is working over Bigelow. But Bigelow is able to kind of pull down the top rope as Tatanka is coming after him. And then Tatanka is eliminated from the match. That is the 10th elimination. And I'm surprised nobody on commentary was like, this is considered a loss. So
there it is, folks.
Not undefeated anymore because he just got eliminated by Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yep. Goodbye.
So Tatanka gets eliminated. Bigelow and Booger almost eliminate Savage, but for some reason, Razor Ramon comes over and saves Randy. You would think, you might want to get rid of him because that's the point of the match. But
yeah.
Savage proceeds to eliminate Booger over the tops of the floor. So Booger is the 11th elimination. Bigelow is shortly eliminated by Ramon with a clothesline. So that brings us to 12 eliminations. We go to a commercial. Coming back from commercial, Bomb is working over Ramon in the corner with a lockup. Owen is able to eliminate MVP with a kick. So
and MVP, I was like, yeah, and you know what? I was like, fuck yeah, Owen's still in this.
Yep. MVP is the 13th elimination. Austin was so happy that Owen was in it that just moments later, Jacques tosses Owen over the top to the floor.
I knew I hated those Canucks.
You did. They're not Mounties, though. Don't you dare call them a Mountie.
We're not the Mountie.
Ramon and Savage are left against the Quebecers, Adam Bomb, and Rick Martel. So it's the classic 4-on-2. Heenan's on commentary. Teasing that Ramon and Savage can't trust each other, although Ramon had saved Savage earlier in the match, so
right.
Doesn't make much sense.
Storytelling, Bob.
Yeah, I guess so. Savage and Ramon get worked over by the heels. Jacques backdrops Pierre onto Ramon. Ramon is clotheslined by Jacques and Martel. Bomb accidentally decks Martel. Savage is able to then dump Bomb over the tops of the floor. So Adam Bomb is the 15th elimination by Randy Savage. I know, I was kind of bummed by that. I mean, I'm glad Bomb lasted as long as he did.
Yeah, that's true.
The Quebecers and Martel will then proceed to eliminate Savage with help from Bomb on the floor.
Yep.
So Savage is the 16th elimination. That brings us down to Final Four. It's Razor Ramon against Rick Martel, Pierre, and Jacques. Ramon.
And if you didn't know who the last two were going to be at this point, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, if you don't know that it's Pierre and Jacques, you're just not a wrestling fan.
If you don't know it's Jacques and Rick Martel.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
The Battle of Quebec.
Right.
Ramon is triple teamed in the corner. Martel comes off the middle rope with a double axe handle. Ramon holds on to the ropes to avoid 3 drop kicks, and they all fall to the mat. So Ramon gets some offense on these guys with some strikes. Martel grabs Ramon from behind, and Jacques delivers several body shots. Ramon continues to be triple teamed. The Quebecers slam Ramon to the mat after Razor delivered a kick on Martel. Pierre comes off the ropes, but accidentally clotheslines Jacques over the top to the floor. Ramon proceeds to then toss Pierre over the top to the floor. And that leaves Ramon and Martel as the final 2 men in the ring. And thus, next week, they will square off to determine the new WWF Intercontinental Champion.
Now, I have to say here, so when Ramon dumps out Pierre, the crowd fucking exploded because Ramon was able to rally back. But I think they were expecting a finish for the Battle Royal, and they weren't going to get one.
Yeah, they probably thought whoever won it was the champion or something.
Right, because so when Ramon dumps him out, they fucking explode. And officials immediately come in, the bell rings, and it's like, okay, the winners are Razor Ramon and Rick Martel.
Yeah.
And I feel like the crowd was like, what the fuck? Like, no, let them fight. We want a winner. We want a definitive winner. So it's kind of a cool idea to say, oh, the final 2 is blah, blah, blah. But what I would have done is I would have said, okay, it's a battle royal. Then the final 2 are going to have a full-fledged match, and whoever wins is going to be the Intercontinental. So that way, then you have 2 worn-down guys. Drama's already built in front of an already hot crowd, and you award the championship.
Oh, so you're saying like immediately after the Battle Royal have the match?
We have a singles match.
Yeah.
And now these guys are going to fight for the belt, and whoever wins is the champion. That's how I would have done it.
No, I can see your point there.
You know, because I feel like as soon as they're, both guys win, the crowd was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they're probably just thinking of ways to drag it out.
Oh, for sure.
But so, like, what I would have done is I would have had a 64-man tournament, and then you crown the champion at WrestleMania 10.
And you call it the Mae Young Classic.
That's fucking right. Damn right. They'll be like, well, you don't want to have a champion for like 6 months? I'll be like, you don't need one.
Nope.
WrestleMania 10.
Nope. And
triple,
you do it like
triple elimination.
And you do like the King of the Ring qualifiers, so there's never a clean victory ever.
So this is great. So what you do then is you have qualifying matches for the tournament, and then you start the tournament.
Right.
So basically, it's going to be 128 people in the match or in the tournament, and then winners of that. So like we could probably make it to SummerSlam next year before we crown another champion. And then you have one match. Oh my God, no, dude, we could go years. You have one match every week for 128 weeks. So that's 128 Raws. Okay. So 52 weeks in a year.
You're looking 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Talk about dragging out an angle. Hello.
There you go.
Half the people in the damn tournament will probably have their contracts not renewed. So then you're just like, wait a minute. Adam Baum won a fucking match in 94, and he has his like second round match coming up in like April 95. How the hell? How the hell? He's not even here anymore.
Either that, or you just do the logical thing, and at WrestleMania you have it be a 1 verse 1 verse 1 verse 1 verse 1 verse 1.
Yeah,
all the way till you get 64 competitors.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think my idea is
book it. Yeah. Book it.
Could you imagine that? Adam Baum won his first tournament match in October of 93. We're here in October of 96.
Round 2 matchup for the Intercontinental Championship
against a 58-year-old Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, and somebody else has already won the belt, but they're still doing the tournament for it.
Shawn Michaels is already back.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what?
I lost that belt like 3 years ago. Like, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
Or you could just have like Shawn Michaels cut a promo each week as well for 3 years. Be like, this is bullshit, Jack Tunney. Just give me the belt back.
Nope. Tournament. It's halfway through. You can fight for it again in 98 when we crown a champion.
Oh my God.
We Bastion Booger.
Yeah, maybe genius. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so like you were saying, the battle royal was pretty boring. I mean, I got invested into it when it was like the final 6.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just your basic battle royal bullshit.
And that's the whole thing, because I think even at one point, so let me scroll back through here, my notes really quick, because there was definitely, I want to say there was something like glaringly noticeable when somebody was in the corner. Oh, okay, right here. So Backlund saves Razor Ramon from getting eliminated from IRS. And then IRS and Backlund proceeded to stand in the corner next to each other like, okay, where do we have to be next? They stood right next to each other, didn't do anything. It's like,
genius.
It's like, what are you loading? You guys are loading over there?
One of my favorite
in the queue.
Yeah. One of my favorite things I've seen in a battle royal or a Royal Rumble was in 2000. I mean, Road Dogg literally hugged the bottom rope for like 20 minutes. Like he did not. He just. I think that was part of the story, but
he couldn't think of anything else. So he's like,
no. I think that's how they booked it. Like just hold on to the bottom rope and not let go. And like the commentators, like this is a smart idea because you can't eliminate a guy who's holding on to the bottom rope. Of course, naturally he did get eliminated, but
well, of course. But, yeah, I don't know. It was I liked it to start off Raw. It was definitely better than the last battle royal we've seen on Raw.
Yes,
but that's not saying much.
Yeah, I mean, it probably helped. The match probably helped me with being interested in a Ramon Martel match next week.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean,
although I don't at all think that Martel would win.
Yeah, how could you?
Yeah,
I mean, come on,
there's no way.
He couldn't even beat Tatanka last week.
Right.
So
the same guy he hasn't been able to beat for 2.5 years. So.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Speaking of what the fuck, the same Raw ad of the hot chick being like, "Hey, honey, I want to suck your dick," and he's like, "No, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta watch Raw."
no, fuckface.
Yeah, no, fuckface.
Huge fake boobs, by the way. Huge.
It don't matter. She hot.
Yeah,
she hot. It don't matter.
Fake boobs.
Speaking of a guy who would probably prefer to watch wrestling than have sex, Jim Cornette introduces the Heavenly Bodies for the next match. And the Heavenly Bodies are taking on Mark Taylor and Scott Thomas. Now, yes. I just want to point out right now that they usually are known as Mark Thomas and Scott Taylor, but for some reason they decided to flip their names.
Why not? It's two different guys.
Yeah. Okay.
The best part of this was that Cornette was yelling on the house mic, and Vince and Bobby were talking over it, so you couldn't even hear what Cornette was saying.
Oh yeah, he was just doing like the Doctor of Desire, the Gigolo, Jimmy Del Rey, the Heavenly Bodies.
Yeah, but they had the audio like only they didn't have it piped into the tape, so you couldn't tell.
They might have done that on purpose.
Probably.
Do you want to take away this one or no?
Oh, I'll go into it. Yes, I'll go into it. So, Cornette obviously announces the Heavenly Bodies to take on, as Bob noted, Mark Taylor and Scott Thomas. So Dr. Tom and Thomas started things off here, and Tom basically just made the guy look dumb. It was really just, he was always a step ahead, Dr. Tom Pritchard. So he tags in Jimmy Del Rey, which reminds me, Bob, as a side note, he reminds me of our friend Tom. Jimmy Del Rey.
Reminds us of our friend Tom.
Yeah, Tom Mayer.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's the red hair.
That has to be the only... I would never have guessed that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I was watching. I was like, oh. Not that you would anybody listening would probably get that or care, so we'll just move on. Taylor came in like a house of fire.
Yeah, fuckface. Nobody cares, okay?
But he was quickly shut down by Del Rey. He then found himself on the receiving end of a spine buster from the top rope compliments of Pritchard, which looked really, really good. So the enhancement guy again got spine busted off the top rope. I heard boring chants and saw a lot of fans walking around carrying food. So this was like the popcorn match of the night, it seemed like.
See, now that kind of blows my mind because I don't think the Heavenly Bodies are boring.
You know what? I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I can see how in 93 where people probably might not be interested, especially WWF fans. But for like wrestling fans, I think they're one of the better teams that they've been featuring as of late, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I can see both sides of the coin. Back to the match, we have Pritchard clotheslining Del Rey, his partner, so Del Rey could hit a DDT, which I thought looked kind of weird. They then hit a double super kick on Thomas and got the pin on Taylor, who was still down after the DDT. So it was kind of a disappointing enhancement match here, I thought. But that's not to take away from the Heavenly Bodies. I'm still giving them a chance, but the clothesline on your partner for your partner to hit a DDT, which has no extra impact, and then to pin the guy after he's been down for a little while following a DDT, I don't know.
I think they totally messed it up. I think that's what happened. Because I think what was supposed to happen was Pritchard was supposed to like clothesline the guy into the DDT, but instead the Del Rey already had the DDT on and he clotheslined his own partner.
Yeah,
and Pritchard even had a look of like that didn't work as well as it should have.
Yeah, it was really stupid looking. It was like, why did you just do that?
Yeah, well, it was like I even did a rewind to like watch it again because I'm like, because when I first saw it, I was like, he definitely just decked Del Rey right on the jaw.
Yes. Yep.
And sure enough, he did. It did though. It seemed like they were kind of like out of sorts, a little out of whack, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But even in despite of that, I'm still a fan of the Heavenly Bodies, and who knows? Maybe we'll see them against the Quebecers at some point. Probably not, but.
Yeah,
I also want to point out real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to point out on commentary that it is mentioned that the Rock and Roll Express will be on All American.
I did hear that.
It's a pretty big addition since they were arguably the greatest 80s tag team attraction.
Right.
So,
right.
Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson will be making their way into the WWF.
Yes, we did get that announced. But back to the Heavenly Bodies really quick. I am kind of surprised that this is only, the second time we've seen them? Like, in action?
Well, yeah, there was the one before the Steiner Bros match, then SummerSlam, and then this. Yeah.
Okay, so third time. And even on this third time, something's kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit. You would think these guys, I don't know, especially being an outside tag team, they need to look as best as they can. And then to have some kind of like mistimed things and maybe some miscommunication, I don't think it reflected very well on the Heavenly Bodies. But again, like you said, I'm in the same boat. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully, they at least maybe get a shot at the tag titles, whether it's with the Quebecers or somebody else. It's not going to be with the Quebecers because it's heel versus heel, but
well, you could turn the Heavenly Bodies face probably.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
If you wanted to have Cornette be like, I want to be the champion, the manager of champions, and just ditch him or something,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. But again, it was a weird showing for the Heavenly Bodies here.
Yeah, something didn't click.
Yeah. Yep.
We get our usual Ico Pro ad with Lex Luger. We then get footage from WWF Superstars last week where Doink had some fun at the expense of Bam Bam Bigelow. Doink tossed some confetti onto Bigelow on the aisleway.
I don't even want to hear you explain this shit right now.
Well, fuckface, I have to. Bigelow just gets in Doink's face and threatens him like, I'll rip your head off if you do this again.
Yeah,
which just kind of diminishes Bigelow. Like, he didn't just rip his head off right then and there. He's like, I'll let you do it once.
Yeah.
But you're not going to do it twice.
He goes, oh, let me tell you something, clown. And then he grabs him by the collar. He goes, do that again, and I'll rip your head off. And Doink's like, ooh, Ooh,
Yeah, like,
scary.
not even taking him seriously. And to be honest with you, seeing that, I was like, I'm not buying into Bigelow as a tough guy.
Yeah, like
Because
what
he
the
should have just
fuck?
ripped his head off right then and there, not even
Right.
give him a warning.
Right.
Luna decides to get in Doink's face, and then Doink is like, had enough of that, so he dumps water over her head, and then he runs into the ring. Luna is like kneeling down on the aisleway.
She acted like she was melting, like the wicked witch.
Well, she's like embarrassed, likely because she hasn't bathed in weeks and she didn't want to do it against her will. Bigelow goes to the ring, but then Doink bails, and he goes to the floor where he kind of like sets up, I guess like a wire or something.
Yeah, it was really weird. So Doink bails out to the floor, and you see him kind of fumbling at like one of the guardrails, and you're like, "What the fuck is he doing?" You can't tell at all.
Yeah.
So, like Bob says here, he's setting up what seems to be some sort of, I don't know, wire. Personally, I don't even think Doink really set anything up. I think they just made it look like he did, and then Bam Bam like pretended to trip over something.
That would be hilarious if they couldn't even spend the time to.
I didn't see a fucking wire.
I didn't.
Did
look,
you?
I didn't look hard enough to know.
Unless it was like trip over a piece of fishing line.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a wire actually there. Personally, I don't remember seeing a fucking wire. So, dude, just continue so we can get away from this.
Okay, well, before he actually did that, he tripped Bigelow from the floor, and then Bigelow was like going to go check on Luna, who was in the ring at this point. An enhancement guy is in the ring checking on Luna, and Bigelow's like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" So then he just beats the shit out of the enhancement guy.
Yeah.
So Doink has set up the wire or whatever, and he's like mocking Bigelow. Bigelow gets to the floor, and then like horribly set it up that you knew he was going to trip over it because he's like pointing at him or whatever. And then he goes to take a step, trips over the wire. Doink hits him with like a broom or something, or he hits him with the broom first, and then Bigelow goes after him, runs, and then trips over the wire, falls on the floor. Doink falls on the floor laughing hysterically. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's not good television, I would say.
You know what I would say?
What?
Fuck Doink and fuck Bam Bam Bigelow. That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, this is
holy shit.
I'd rather have Bam Bam Bigelow scalping Tatanka than have him trip over a wire.
Well, we go from one extreme to the other. Like we go from fucking, Resident Evil shit, ripping people's scalps off, to Sesame Street. I'm going to break your little red wagon and trip over your fucking tripwire.
Right.
It was so bad, so cringeworthy, like little kid crap. Like
that's what they're targeting. So
yeah, toddlers.
Yeah, that's why we have to live through it some 25 years later. Can't wait.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. And for Bam Bam Bigelow to be doing this shit, look where he is in fucking 4 years time in ECW, killing people and putting people through ramps.
How he should be presented.
Yeah, like a friggin' monster.
Yeah.
Here he's tripping over invisible wires and like getting outsmarted by a clown.
Yeah, but like the argument from Bam Bam would be like, well, listen, my paycheck has a comma in it, and the one in 4 years won't even clear.
Well, I can't really argue with that.
Yeah, I know I put Taz through a fucking canvas, but I didn't get paid for it. But when I got tripped by Doink on a wire, I got 10 grand. It's like, okay, you win.
Yeah.
I guess I do the same. It's poor writing. That's what it comes down to. Poor writing.
Yeah, it sucks. And Doink, what the fuck's going on with Doink?
I know.
Come on, what a waste! It's such a waste.
Yeah, this is the time. This is the era of Doink that just
blows.
I despise.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Heenan and McMahon talk about what we just saw, and Heenan threatens that he'll knock Doink's nose off his face. Heenan then backtracks when McMahon's like, well, Doink's competing next. He's like, no, he's not. Oh, I didn't say. I was just kidding. No, yeah, no. Yeah, no, Doink's great. Yeah, whatever. And he is coming up next.
Yeah, Bobby says, oh, I'll slap that red nose off the clown so far off his face, he'll be able to smell 7 states away.
Yeah.
And Vince is like, oh, really? Well, he'll be up next. Bobby's like, huh? What? No.
I didn't mean it. I was just kidding. I was just clowning around. That brings us to our main event, the match that we've all been waiting for. It's Doink the Clown against Corey Student.
Oh, boy. Are you ready for this one, Bob? I'll take this one if you'd like.
You can go right ahead, my friend.
So we get back from commercial, and first of all, we get a smoking hot babe with a great ass for a ring girl.
Yeah, Jack Doan, the referee, I believe, checks her out as well, so he's aware.
I was checking him out as well. So
I bet you were.
Doink came out on a little red wagon contraption, so it had like confetti on the side with streamers. It was bullshit. So here comes Doink on a little red wagon. Again, he's taking on Corey Student. Doink's theme has changed, and he now throws cotton candy to the fans. And all I have written is "this sucks," because it's gone from a clown with like an evil twist to fucking a clown from the circus.
Yeah, so like there's no more dark tune to his theme. It's just nothing but happiness and fun.
Yeah, it's like
carnival and stuff like that.
All the character has been sucked out of Doink the Clown. Put it that way. Yeah. At least Matt Bourne is still playing him at this point.
For now.
Yes, for now.
Yeah. So, I mean, you sum it up pretty well there, but just to give you the finish at least. This match was pretty quick. It was like less than 2 minutes. Doink wins the match following a whoopee cushion. After the match, Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon make their way out to the ring. Officials stop Bigelow from getting in the ring and doing anything. He's kept on the apron. So Bigelow, I guess, can't get through one person. Decides that he'll settle for destroying the red wagon that Doink had brought to the ring. You would think, oh, maybe this will traumatize Doink. Instead, Doink just laughs.
He laughs at him. Yeah.
Just kind of making Bigelow look like an idiot. Like there's nothing you can do to really impact this guy.
Bigelow looks like he's throwing a temper tantrum.
Well, yeah, he is.
And like the crowd and Doink is just laughing at him. Like, what a joke.
Yeah.
I have to note that the whoopee cushion looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because as good as Doink's ring work is, his character at this point is fucking like Chuck E. Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it is. So,
he's becoming the definition of a comedy character.
Yeah. Right. In 93, where comedy is not really getting over too much.
No, and I think that had Matt Bourne stuck around and that would have been his character, it would have drove him insane.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I think he's the type of guy that would have needed that character depth to keep him invested in it.
Yes.
If he's just pulling pranks, I mean, who the fuck cares?
Right. It's not even like you don't matter. At that point, you don't matter.
Yeah.
Which is why pretty much they end up putting anybody they can in the Doink the Clown makeup. So
I think it's like 3 or 4 different people at some point here.
We'll get there. But not a great match. Not just poor interactions between Doink and Bam Bam here. It just feels so out of place. Like where is this coming from? That's all I could think of. Like where this is out of nowhere.
Yeah,
this is coming. So I don't know. I'm not looking forward to Doink moving forward. Unfortunately,
I'm not looking forward to this Doink Bam Bam feud. It's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon and Bobby Heenan proceed to promote the feud that we had just seen about between Bigelow and Doink. Heenan wants Bigelow to do to Doink that he would do if he had the chance. So Heenan's just pretty much blowing smoke. We get a WWF figures ad, and then they talk about next week. And next week, Razor Ramon will take on Rick Martel, with the winner becoming the new WWF Intercontinental Champion. Heenan thinks that Martel will win the match. McMahon wonders how Martel will beat Ramon, and Heenan says, with good, clean wrestling. We then we close the show seeing highlights of how it became Martel and Ramon for next week.
Yeah, it just happened 20 minutes ago, but we're getting a recap here.
I thought the same thing. That drove me nuts. Like, I just watched the damn show.
Yeah.
Why are you showing me 3 minutes of highlights?
Yeah. I don't know. It almost looked like they ran out of content for the last 5 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
So they just threw it to the commentary table. They kind of bantered a little bit. What happened? I think. Oh, that's right. So going back to rewinding a little bit. When Doink's coming out, Bobby got on his knees at commentary, and Doink threatened to almost splash him with a bucket of water again. So he's got a bucket in his hand. Instead, Bobby gets a bucket of popcorn thrown on him by Doink, to which Vince was genuinely belly laughing at him. It's almost like Doink at this point is just a way for Vince to keep himself entertained.
Yeah, I think Vince's idea of entertainment is drastically different than anybody else's.
Yeah, so in the last couple of minutes here for Raw, Vince just continually kind of makes jabs at Bobby, who's still got pieces of popcorn all over him. And that's kind of their way to BS through till the end of the show. Like, that's kind of what they play off of. So they talk about that. They talk about what happened at the Battle Royal, which, again, we just watched. And like Bob says, they go over some of the things we can look forward to next week. So that's how we kind of go off air this week for Raw.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, not really. Definitely not really. Although, you know what? To be honest with you, and you're probably not going to agree with me, but I did enjoy this week more than last. I feel like we got a little bit more engaging action with more feud development. Why Bam Bam Bigelow has totally forgotten about Tatanka at this point, I don't know. Like, we never got a result from that.
Yeah. Well, that might have been a house show feud.
Even still, like, I would have liked to see give him a Raw match to finish the feud.
Yeah.
Several angles seem to kind of on the similar plane as that, seem to have been switched up as well, or either dropped out of thin air. Like Shawn Michaels, perfect, gone. Like, we had nothing. Taker and Mr. Hughes, done. Taker Gonzalez, done. Like, there's just it's almost like they've scrapped everything. Like, fuck it all. Just don't do any of that. Well, we're starting new. Out of nowhere. Yoko, we haven't heard about anything. No Luger, no mentions, no Brett. So who even knows what's going on, like, with the world title? Nobody's heard anything. It's just a very, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to get down on this week. This week wasn't too bad. A little bit better than the last one, but again, middle of the road at best. But still, there's like it's like they're spinning their wheels almost. I don't know.
I don't know if I would consider this one to be better than previous week.
I liked it a little bit because I think we got a little bit more action. Like, the Battle Royal was okay.
Yeah, the Battle Royal was all right, but
It was okay.
I liked last week's, I think, just because like the tag match with the Quebecers and Kid and Horwitz wasn't like too bad. The IRS segment kind of gave him more depth. Borga was pretty good.
Yeah.
The only real stinker last week was Martel Tatanka.
I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the tag match, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I probably enjoyed it more than you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like this week they just a lot of the show was the Battle Royal.
Right. A lot of it was in ring, put it that way.
Yeah. Or like, highlights from Superstars or whatever for Doink and Bigelow's feud. But yeah. I just hope that there's not much focus of Doink Bam Bam on Raw. Like, if they can keep that to syndication.
Yeah, don't waste my time, please.
Yeah. I think the last 2 weeks were for sure just kind of like another like filler weeks to me.
Yeah, again, just more middle of the road, kind of no real important things really going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's almost like, so after SummerSlam, we've been stuck in a rut. Like the 4 weeks, if we look at 4 weeks of television, have you really missed anything if you skip them? Other than the Quebecers becoming champions and Sean being suspended? No.
Yeah.
Which sucks because the Raws leading up to SummerSlam and even a little bit before that have been awesome. Like, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. We need something that'll snap us out of this kind of vicious cycle because that's what it feels like. Again, we've scrapped a lot of the storylines that we were working on the past couple of months. We're trying to start new ones, but it's like we're just putzing along kind of thing. And none of it's really that interesting anyway. Like even the Bret Hart, Jerry Lawler thing. Like what happened to that?
That's like fizzled. Yeah, that hasn't had any mention.
Nothing.
For the most part.
Nothing. So all these big feuds, it's like, fuck them.
Yeah. I do think that potentially the Crush Savage one could get us invested.
That's really the only kind of thing that's kept my interest a little bit on these shows is what happens when Crush calls in. What's Savage going to say? What's Crush going to say? I don't know.
Because judging by what we've seen and in some cases read for syndication,
right,
the top feuds right now would be Undertaker, Yoko, Luger, Borga, Brett and Lawler still.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Razor and IRS. Quebecers and Steiners, I guess.
Right.
Tatanka, or not Tatanka, Bigelow and Doink. Clearly. So yeah, I mean that kind of seems like the direction that they're seemingly going into. Crush Savage potentially could be a feud as well.
And let me clarify too. I don't say hopefully because I like the Jerry Lawler Brett storyline, but I'd rather see that continue than them just be like scrap it completely and you get no explanation.
Yeah.
I think that sucks when shit like that happens.
Yeah, like they just forget about it.
Yeah, and they hope that you did too, kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird couple of weeks for us here on IcoPod.
Yeah, I feel like the time when like stuff really starts to heat up is when we actually get into November, because then they're probably like, oh, we got 3 weeks to go before we get
pay-per-view.
Yeah, probably get something going here.
Which I would have thought it was the other way around, because if you remember earlier in the year, right, everything starts out really hot and then it fizzles. So it's almost like they've done a completely 180 and like everything stays fizzly, and then maybe the last couple of weeks they'll ramp it up.
Yeah, maybe that's what they have to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
To maintain interest.
Because they know they can't long-term book at this point.
Yeah.
Look at what the Hogan thing, how much of a flub that was, and that was probably the longest term booking we got in '93.
Yeah, before the Lex Express.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a really weird. It's been a weird, like I said, weird past couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, next week's episode should, I don't know, potentially be bigger with the Ramon Martel. I mean, that seemed like that was the whole point for the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Was to build up to the crowning of a new champion. So
right, and if that's going to be Razor Ramon, and if it's going to be Razor Ramon, I'm, of course, pretty solidly behind that. I think that's probably one of the smartest moves they can make right now.
But yeah, I mean, if Rick Martel were to win the championship, there'd be something seriously wrong with the booking team if that would ever happen. Needless to say.
Yeah.
You got anything else for episode 40, my good friend?
I don't think so. I think that about does it. I'm just ready to, like I said last episode even. Let's get through November. Let's get through Survivor Series, and let's get to 94. I'm ready for 94. I'm looking forward to 94.
Yeah, I feel like there's several like long-term angles in 94 that we can talk about.
Memorable angles.
Yeah, exactly. So, and matches for that matter.
And matches. Yep.
All right. I have nothing else. If you guys have any kind of discussions you want to talk about, hit us up, IcoPod. IcoPod on Facebook, IcoPodcast@gmail.com. For Austin Skinner, I'm Bob Collins Jr., and this has been IcoPod.
You gotta hear it.